Yeah. As I say, once an arrest warrant has been issued, or really once an investigation has been started, really law enforcement needs to be talking to the attorney. I've done this long enough. I've watched enough interviews. I've handled enough cases. I know what the officer's getting at. I'm not going to be tricked by anything, and I can answer questions in a way. One, not a video. They're not going to videotape me, but what I say is not admissible in court. If the defendant goes in there and starts, submitting to an interrogation, I can guarantee you that video is going to get played to the jury. And then I'm just not going to, I'm not going to give them anything that's not helpful for my client. And also potentially extract some information as well. Because a lot of times when an investigation starts, the defendant may not be sure, what this is even all about. Particularly some of these sex cases on campus, where, two people get drunk, they go back to their respective dorms or apartments or whatever, or go back together, I should say. And then, everything's fine as far as one party is concerned. And, I've seen more than one where it's been over a year later. Law enforcement is calling saying, hey, we need to talk to you. And it's about this thing that happened over a year ago, what you thought was a consensual sexual encounter. And when I talk to law enforcement, they'll be a little bit defensive with me, but they can, usually I can get some information about, well, what is he accused of? When did this happen? And we can start to piece together what's going on. Doesn't work out so well when the suspect themselves go in and, for one, they want to do it in an interrogation room, either at the police station or at the sheriff's department, and they're in control. And I'm asking you the questions, not the other way around. So yeah, that's one thing, both in the investigation phase and, after a warrant has been issued, I can talk to law enforcement and, hopefully kind of start our investigation on our own. In rare cases, we're able to halt the investigation in its tracks. Once the arrest warrants issue, probably the thing most people care about is getting bond. Particularly in Bullitt County, you get arrested with for a felony, you can expect to sit for a while until you can get an attorney to go in and ask for a bond. Because like I said, in other counties, generally, unless it's murder or something, your bond's going to be set within 48 to 72 hours by the magistrate. But since in Bullitt County our magistrate doesn't set bonds, you've got to get arrested. Your warrants have to be served on you. Then they have to be provided to the clerk and assigned a judge, and then your attorney files your motion for bond. And then whichever judge you've got to get on one of their hearing days. So that you can actually get your bond set. So, once you've got an arrest warrant, that's the big thing for people is I need to get out. I need to get back to work.